Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Silver Slayer. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome. The title is unfortunately not clickbait, folks. I'm seriously pissed at Silver, and you will be too. You just don't know it yet. You're about to find out, though. A lot's going on. Now more than ever, you gotta be subscribed. I'm not saying this for my sake, I'm saying it for yours. You got to be getting your daily dose of information of what's happening in the markets, why the markets are acting that way, and what you should do about it. You cannot be blindly investing and expect success. It's not realistic. So on that note, let's jump into the video. I've put together a great video for you guys today. A lot of information we're going to break down. It's definitely going to lead you in a better position than before you watched this video. So we're talking about how things are just getting started with gold and silver. The party's just getting started. A lot of people think things have died down since the August highs of $30 silver or gold breaking through its all-time ever high around $2,000. But things are just getting started, and they're going to get a lot worse in the economy, also being bullish for precious metals. But not only that, we have another person coming out talking about $40 silver in 2021, the possibility of that. This is just a video, so I'm going to post this in the description as well. Do your homework, guys. Research this stuff. I mean, on a daily basis, this is the stuff I'm doing, right? I'm always educating myself, always getting that information, brainstorming different scenarios, different possibilities, getting different people's perspectives, and that's really how you can get a very good overall picture. You got to be open-minded. So I'm going to link this in the description for you guys to watch on your free time. But this is definitely the article we're about to break down, because I want to get their perspective, their opinion, their points of why they think silver could be this high. I could tell you 10 different reasons why I think that, but they might have different points that I haven't even thought about to incorporate. So, links in the description for both of these articles. With that said, let's jump into it. So, gold faced a tough week as waves of liquidation occurred, with many participants from hedge funds to managed funds giving the precious metal the cold shoulder. Unfortunately, silver also saw the pressure while its sister metals, copper and platinum, took off like a rocket and left everyone else behind. The good news is that the weakness coincides with a bullish seasonal trade setup in the second half of December that could spill over into a highly inflationary environment in 2021. So it's looking like the beginning of 2021 is where most of silver's potential is for the short term. I mean, when we're talking about medium to long term, there's so many unknown variables that are going to affect prices that we can't even fathom right now. But right now, the short term is what's happening. This is definitely going to affect and reflect how we're investing, or when should we invest, or if we should invest. And that's what we need to pay attention to. Now more than ever, we got to be on our toes, because markets are changing like with the drop of a dime, and we got to be ready to adapt and adjust. So I'm going to go over why I'm pissed at silver in a second. You know what? Let's just get into it. Let's just talk about it right now. I'm so mad at silver because, and this actually kind of leads into what I was just about to talk about, because this pandemic has sped up the rate of everything collapsing times 10. So the prices are about to explode, and I don't have enough time to stack more silver. See, I wanted the prices to be low for another 10 years, 6 or 7 years minimum, so I can accumulate a lot more silver. But since silver is so explosive, since the dollar is about to get hurt so much faster than we expected, I don't have very much time to buy more silver. And I'm pissed at that. I'm pissed off at that. I wanted so much more time to accumulate hundreds and hundreds of more ounces and even go into gold, because I haven't really got into gold that heavy, and I had so many other goals and plans that I wanted to do to boost my portfolio to make even more money, but now I can't do that, and I'm pissed off about it. Let me know what you guys think about that. A lot of people will be happy and buy more silver once the price goes up, because those are the people that miss the boat. And once once there's proof that the markets start exploding, that's when they invest. But that's really the wrong time. You're supposed to buy it right now before it starts rising, before it explodes, so you get it for cheaper. Most people don't do that though. They're investing backwards. But regardless of that point or not, I'm mad that the time for silver is coming so shortly. We're not going to see $25 silver uh, in a very short amount of time. Next year, we're going to be wishing we can go back in time and pay $25 for an ounce. I can guarantee that. So, with 2021 around the corner, we are sending out a complimentary 2021 futures calendar and reference guide with a limited supply. So, talking about some of this stuff, some more resources. So I'm going to highlight the main parts of this article. So why did so many people throw in the towel this week on gold and silver? Well, I picked up the phone and reached out to some of my colleagues, and they mainly gave me these responses. They believe with a rollout of this pandemic or the vaccines, the global economy will recover faster, curbing the appeal for government bonds, therefore pushing yields higher and chasing riskier assets. And that's riskier assets, or the dollar equity, stuff like that doesn't hold its value. Gold and silver is a safe asset. It's called a safe haven metal. So what occurred from that narrative was the outflows from gold-backed ETFs spiked significantly, leaving their holdings near the July lows when gold fell over to $200 an ounce in just a few sessions. So they're saying that people think the economy is going to recover faster since the vaccines are coming out. But I can guarantee that's not going to happen, because even when the vaccines come out, the pandemic is not our worst problem, right? People think that this pandemic is our worst problem, and once the pandemic starts to slow down, everything's going to get better, but that's so far from the truth. Things are going to get a lot worse. We're still talking about a recession / depression. We're still talking about the dollar collapsing. Regardless of the pandemic, when we throw out stimulus, it's going to collapse the dollar, and we have no choice. The candidates knew that throwing out trillions is going to heavily affect the dollar, but they had no choice. If candidate A, candidate B, or candidate C wanted a chance to win the election, they had to throw out that $1 trillion stimulus word. They know it was going to collapse the dollar, but what are they going to do? Not do it? Tell people, hey, I want to give you the stimulus, but we can't for the sake of the United States dollar strength. They're not going to, no, nobody's going to say that. They know what the consequences will be, but they had no choice. So we're gonna pay the cost. The money has to come from somewhere. We don't have that money, but it's gonna come from somewhere. So with that said, people might think that the economy is gonna get better, and that might affect prices in the short term. But that's a euphoric. That's definitely not a realistic price. So things. They think that right now, but just because people think that, just because people are investing that way, does not mean that that's what's going to happen, and does not mean the markets are going to actually perform that way, right? It's almost like a false flag. It's a misleading type of a pattern or chart pattern that is definitely going to be very short-lived when people see the reality of the financial system. I mean, this pandemic already did expose a lot of how broke America is, especially since America is the richest country solely because we own the most gold. So it's going to be interesting to see once the dollar starts deflating extremely fast. Like, I don't think people understand how fast things are getting are worsening. The dollar's lost 44% of its purchasing power in the last 20 years. So before this pandemic, it was already a snowball effect where the snowball is getting bigger, rolling faster, and it's going to cause more damage. So this pandemic just sped things up times 10, and most people were not prepared at all for this. Think about the people that don't even invest in the gold and silver, that have no choice. They don't even know that they have a choice. That's going to be detrimental to them. And the worst part is those are the people that really think that things are going to start getting better. I made a video yesterday talking about how you got to prepare, and how we almost could, another way to fight this pandemic would almost be to put in like a life insurance policy. Like, instead of, like for people, like, you know how we have like fire, if your house catches on fire, we have an insurance policy for that where you pay X amount of dollars. And if your house burns down, you'll have insurance. almost have like an insurance policy for pandemics and natural disasters to that type of extent, whether it's a financial collapse, economic depression, stuff like that, and you do it with gold and silver. So people, it's almost like what we do already. We do this naturally, but for everyday people that don't understand why we do it, for them to finally have a reason to start investing in the gold and silver. And I thought that was a very interesting point, because I think more people would get on board if they had a reason. See, people look at our reasons and they think we're crazy. They trust the government, they trust the banks, they don't understand the reality behind the scenes. But if they had something they can actually logically understand or comprehend or see possibly happening, I feel like more people would invest in the precious metals, and it wouldn't be so rebellious or conspiracy theorists or going against the grain. But I don't know. I thought that was a really cool point to be made, and maybe somewhere in the future that could work. But regardless or not, the people that aren't investing right now are going to catch the short end of the stick, because it's not about if this happens, it's when it happens. It's when it happens, and the when is becoming sooner and sooner and sooner. So anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. Like I said, there is another video I'll be linking. I want you guys to watch. It's from Kitco. Talking about $40 silver price possibility in 2021. So a little bit of the summary is, once industrial demand picks up, more tailwinds for silver will push the metal closer to $35, $40 an ounce in the next year. So this is going to separate silver from gold. This is why my name is Silver Slayer, not Gold Slayer, because the industrial demand picking up is only going to benefit silver. It's not going to benefit gold whatsoever. Remember, gold isn't an industrial asset. Only silver is. Gold is used for metals, jewelry, watches, coins, necklaces, earrings, watches. Gold is used mostly for that. There's very small amounts of gold in laptops. But silver isn't really used for that stuff. Silver's used more for the exact opposite, more for laptops, all that type of stuff. So when industrial demand does pick up, even if the economy does start to recover from an industrial standpoint, silver's still going to benefit. So if you hear what I'm saying, I'm telling you that silver's a win-win situation. Whether the economy is in bad or good shape, silver's going to benefit from it. So silver, you cannot go wrong with it. Gold is different. If the economy's in bad shape, gold's going to flourish. If the economy's in good shape, nobody really wants gold. And that's why we're seeing precious metals, gold, start to dip right now, because people are having this new faith in the economy from the vaccine. So they're not really looking to transfer their fiat into precious metals right now. So silver is definitely it makes more sense to invest in the silver, in my opinion. So anyways, definitely want to check this video out as well. So I'm going to wrap this video up here. If you thought this video was educational, informational, at least entertaining, make sure to smash the like button. Like I said, I post daily videos every single day, giving you guys the newest, latest, freshest information. You got to be subscribed. It's not for my sake. I don't care about the amount of subscribers I have. It's for your sake, because you got to be getting this information. You cannot be blindly investing and expect success. It's really not realistic. Once upon a time, maybe it was, but not in today's time. Thanks for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.